Hello folks, welcome back. We are going to be looking at the Killers, Mr. Brightside in this one, just because I quite fancied it, and it's actually quite difficult to play it exactly as they do it. And I found an isolated guitar track, so I think this is pretty bang on, and I think I'm playing it in the right places too. So in terms of tuning, you're going to have to tune your whole guitar down half a step, and you want a light overdrive. I'm using the Greer Amps Light Speed, which is absolutely banging for this tune. So my clean tone is thus, but the gain is set like this. Also works great for the other parts because you get this. All that. So that's what I'm going for tone-wise. Into the first riff we go. This is basically three main riffs and then a slight variation for the outro. But the first chord is this. So you've got 17 with your second finger, 16 with your first, little finger goes onto the 19th fret on the next string, and then your third finger is going to be on the 17th fret, okay? So it's basically like you're playing a C add 9 up 2 frets with, but you're playing it on the 17th fret, okay? So C add 9 up 2 frets, little finger there. So that's the shape you want for the first chord. I'll get into the, I mean, I've been really exact with the picking because he does this thing where you get an open D string, right, with each chord change, because he's playing he deliberately takes his fingers off. So I think that's just a part of his style, but it appears in quite a few sections. So I've been as accurate as possible. You don't need to do that if you don't want to. But let's start with the chords first, and then we'll move to the picking, okay? So we have this shape. Then you take your first and second fingers off, put your first finger flat down on the 16th fret. Don't mean bridge it so you're covering all the strings. That'll sound terrible. Just want to be using the tip of your finger to squeeze down on the 16th fret on the A and the D strings, or the 5th and the 4th strings. Again, first finger off, and then that goes down onto the 15th fret, and then your second finger is going to go back to the 16th fret. And it stays on that for a second bar. So, through. Again. In fact, when he's playing live, you'll see a really deliberate... You know, you'll see him really taking his finger off. I mean, you don't have to. You could put your first finger there in situ, right behind your second finger, right? And you could do it that way if you want. But I'm going to teach it the way he plays it. So now for the picking part, okay? We're going to play... The first part always starts like that. And the second part of it is always 4 strings. And if you put them all together, slowly now, we have this. 3, 4. round again, okay? Now, the reason I think that extra open string, that bit, is on the third bar. He just plays, doesn't move his fingers, right? It's the only time he does it. And then the fourth time. So I think it's just giving him, you know, time to move between the chord shapes there, rather than it being, I'm deliberately going to play an open D string there. I could be wrong, but I think that's my analysis of that. So the whole thing through again slowly. Right, and then to speed. Etc. Okay, so once you've nailed that, which you will, just stick with it, you've got to come down here. This bit is probably more difficult, to be honest. So we're going to play. But then we've got to play this. For the first half of each bar. But again, it follows the same pattern as that first strumming part. So the picking pattern, rather, is exactly the same. That is exactly the same for 8 bars, okay? Now, between the first chord position, which is B, or B flat, actually, because we're detuned. You're going to go to A, or A flat, right? And there, notice I'm using my little finger on the 7th fret, and I've gone to my second finger now. Because you're going to need this almighty stretch. Then you've got to get you really got to reach for this now. Play that same thing 4 times, right? So it's just quite tricky, you know. That stretch is difficult. You've also got to keep that that pattern going as well. So not an easy tune to play. So, you know, don't be too hard on yourself. You can't get it straight away, but you will. Just practice. So we have this. That is not clean at all, but you know, I would probably angle my guitar up like this to get that. I mean, such a big stretch, especially if you've got little fingers like me. Oops. But once you're in that position, you know, you can get quite quick with it. So one more time. Then we're into the chorus riff, so we're going to come up to the 12th fret here with our second finger, and we're going to play. So you can do that little slide in between as well. So slowly we have 3, 4. Like that, okay? So bar by bar we have just alternate picking. Then we go 12, 12. That's my second finger I'm adding there. Then I add my 4th finger to the 14th fret. But you're going to hit that open D again, right? Gives you time to move down to this shape. You're going to do a little 5 chord with your 3rd and 4th finger. So you want that going on again, right? And then you slide with that upstroke. You slide to the 12th fret, and then you're back in situ again for another run round. Okay, so again. Now I also hear this, right? For the second part of the chorus. And there is a slide up to it. But if you're playing, you're going to need to slide with your 3rd finger. But that 3rd finger is already on the wrong string, right? So what you could do, you could play it here. And then you're on the right finger for that string, right? So that would be just all here. And then you go to this part, right? Again, another open string, because he's basically going to do... So I think you might actually be playing it here in hindsight. Let's do that, right? So we have... So you could do that. I mean, I would probably recommend you do that if you want to do the slide. If you don't care too much about the slide, then just move down here for it. So you'd then be playing... all fingers off, and you're going to hit the G, or the 3rd string, on the upstroke. Then flatten your fingers on the 12th fret. 15, 14, 12, like that. And then down here you could just play. Now if you wanted to still do that slide, but you still like this part down here, you could just play. Do that, okay? So entirely up to you. Then you play that round twice. Then you're going to do this again. Okay, round, and then you go round the whole thing back into this. All that stuff. You play the whole thing right round, but the second time when you go to the chorus, you will play this. Nearly fluffed it up, I know. Then you're going to play this variation up here, which goes... There we play... Okay, slight difference. So again... So the first 2 bars slowly are... Again. So, okay, get that in your head. And then again. Another open string. So you move to here. Like that again. So, sorry, that would be... And the outro is simply 4 choruses, but you have a slight variation the 4th time. So 3 times of... Like that. The 4th time you're going to play this. Or you could do a slide. And that just holds for the next bar as well. Like that. So, last time. And you folks are done. Hope you enjoyed that one. See you again soon.